Are the Vikings going to absolutely blindside the rest of the NFL this season? What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Super fun show we're going to be breaking down today is why I think the Vikings are becoming one of the most disrespected teams amongst NFL media members this offseason. And these two right here, I think are going to put the NFL on notice this upcoming season. But before we dive into that, guys, more competition with our Bears channel here at Chat Sports. They got 576 likes on their last video. I'm trying to beat it. I'm trying to double it. So if you guys could drop a like on today's show, if we could somehow hit 1,000, that would be really, really awesome. So if you guys could and haven't already, drop a like on today's show. But right now, so the disrespect, how it started. The Vikings win total, according to all the bookmakers out west, according to the smart minds in Las Vegas, set the Vikings win total this season at 6.5. I think that's ludicrous. I think that is way too low. Do I think it should be 10.5, 11.5? No. But 6.5, worse than the NFC North by far? I think that's insane. And also, more disrespect was from, if you just look at any NFL media member, when they're ranking their top teams in the NFC North, it is 99% of the time they have the Vikings finishing dead last by far. I think that's insane. I think they're going to be a whole lot better than that. And do I think they're a Super Bowl contender? Hell no. But are they going to be better than 5 wins this upcoming season? You bet you. I definitely think that is the case. So why the Vikings? Why am I, so high on this football team? Why do I think the Vikings are going to be this good? Number one reason, the edge department. The Vikings edge group is absolutely insane. And honestly, I feel like it gets a little disrespected. And you have guys like Dallas Turner, Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Ginkel. Like, these are three, we don't know certainly about Dallas Turner right now, but Jonathan Greenard, he was a stud last season for the Texans. Andrew Van Ginkel, he was incredible. The best Swiss Army knife there is in the NFL. And the Vikings, they lost Danielle Hunter this offseason. Big loss, no doubt about it. But they replaced him with 3 elite edge rushers. And honestly, right now, the Vikings edge department is better than it was last year, even with Danielle Hunter on that team. But let's start out with Van Ginkel. As with him getting an injury in the last game of the year last year with the Miami Dolphins, I think people just kind of forgot about how impactful he was last season. 69 tackles, 6 sacks, 8 PBUs, a touchdown, an interception. And what do we love to say here on the channel? Brian Flores loves his versatile defenders. There might not be any other player that is more versatile than Andrew Van Ginkel in the entire NFL. Maybe it's also Josh Metellus. But, Van Ginkel is definitely up there, as well. PFF graded him out incredibly high this past season. A 91.1 overall grade. A run defense grade of 76.3. One of the highest pass rushing grades in the entire NFL at 90.6. Incredible stuff out of Van Ginkel. But it's not just him. It's also the rookie, Dallas Turner. And he has been absolutely turning heads and looking the part so far throughout the Vikings offseason program. Christian Darrisaw was asked after the first practice with Dallas Turner, just what'd you think of him? And Darrisaw, he said Dallas Turner has a faster spin move than Danielle Hunter. I don't think I would ever hear that out of anybody saying they have a faster spin move than number 99, because obviously we know that was his calling card. That was his go-to move. And the fact that they're already saying Dallas Turner has a faster one than him kind of speaks to his athleticism. And my pro comp for Dallas Turner, the more I watch him, the more I just go back and just randomly will turn on Alabama highlights of him, getting to the quarterback. He reminds me of Von Miller, man. But, we'll obviously have to wait and see if he ends up being that good. But also Jonathan Greenard. You also replaced Danielle Hunter with this guy who was great last season for the Houston Texans. 12.5 sacks, 52 tackles, was that kind of heartbeat of that defense. Still has that, versatility, drop back in the coverage a couple times, gets hands on football since he had 2 PBUs. Obviously not, a whole lot, but, he has that ability. And just, him, being 26 years old, when he's going to be 27, 28, like truly entering his prime, I think Brian Flores is going to get the most out of him. And number 2, why the Vikings this season? The improved run game. Like, it just got to improve, right? Like, it can't be as bad as it's been under Kevin O'Connell. And look at these stats. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The biggest weakness for the Vikings the past couple of years, you can chalk it up to turnovers, injuries, quarterback play, whatever you want. In my opinion, it's the running game. This cannot happen again. If the Vikings average less than 100 rushing yards a game, this upcoming season, it will be a bad year, and Vegas would be right about their win total. But 27th in his first year, 29th in his second year under Kevin O'Connell. It's got to improve. And what's the number one way to improve your rushing attack? Adding in an elite running back in Aaron Jones. He was the best running back in the league from week 16 on last season to the divisional round of the playoffs. He still has major juice. Yes, a little older in his NFL tenure, but he is still a fantastic back. And I think a lot of people chalk up, the Vikings' poor run game to their offensive line. I disagree with that. I chalk it up to Dalvin Cook back in 2022, not nearly being the same guy and just being a negative in the run game. Alexander Mattison last year, I thought he was frankly awful at the running back position. He would be a whole lot better, and plus you add in even a guy like Ty Chandler. But my take on this is I think the Vikings can have a top 15 rushing attack, no doubt about it. And if they can do that, they will be a top 5 offense. Like, if you combine a top 15 rushing attack with the weapons you have on the outside, with the coaching staff, like, the Vikings will be one of the best offenses in the National Football League. But my third reason, kind of just teased it, the coaching staff. And I think the Vikings coaching staff has honestly gone underrated in terms of, when we're evaluating coaching staffs as a whole. Colin Cowherd always calls Kevin O'Connell the tall Sean McVay. I don't know if I want to give KOC, that praise just yet. But if you take like a head coach quarterback combo and you just look at the combination of Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, like, it is truly one of the best head coach coordinator combos we have in the entire NFL. Like, you got guys like, obviously, Andy Reid and Spags, they're number one, no doubt about it. Like, don't even need to argue that. But, Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, like, they're up there. They are on a short list of the top, like, if you have a defensive-minded head coach and their offensive coordinator. Obviously, the Vikings offensive-minded head coach, defensive coordinator. The Vikings are on a short list of some of the top in the league. And I do want to talk about Kevin O'Connell here real quick. I'm not saying he's on the hot seat, but I think this is one of the biggest years for a head coach in the NFL. And, I don't think if the Vikings really struggle this season, like, he will be out the door. I think he's on the same timeline as J.J. McCarthy. He'll be here for the next couple of years. But we will know who Kevin O'Connell is as a head coach after this season. We'll know if he's a top 5 guy. We'll know if he's a top 10 guy. Or we'll know if he's, maybe a little bit of a fraud. Maybe he, took advantage of all those one-score victories and kind of warped our perception of him, dating back to that 2022 season. But I promise you, we'll have a clear answer on who he is after this season. But you guys let me know right now, as it stands, Kevin O'Connell is the blank best coach in the NFL. I'd probably go, off the top of my head, 10th. I'll just say he's just outside the top, or just inside the top 10. So I'll go 10th on that one. You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Now, also, the Vikings, I think they have some players that are going to break out this season. And I'll probably do a full video breaking this down, more in depth here. But I just wanted to go over 5 guys who I really do, think could break out. You got Jordan Addison, number 1. What he did last season for the Vikings, under guys, or with catching the ball from guys like Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins, like, he was still able to be incredibly productive. He looked the part, and even Alec Lewis, who was at Vikings minicamp, just said he looks even better. He looks like he took a huge jump from years 1 to years 2. In my opinion, I think we'll be looking at Addison as one of the best wide receiver 2s in the entire league after this season. Also, Ed Ingram. This is kind of wishful thinking by me, but I think Ed Ingram's a guy where if he takes that step, the offensive line, you're looking at it a whole lot differently, where you got 4 guys there that you fully trust rolling out there every single weekend. Mekhi Blackman, 3rd-round pick last year out of USC. He was a perfect scheme fit for Brian Flores, and he was great last season. Can he take that next step? Can he be a true top 15 cornerback in the league? If he does that, then the Vikings are definitely going to win more than 6.5 games. Talked about Jonathan Greenard already a little bit, and then you got Ivan Pace Jr. I think Ivan Pace is going to be a Pro Bowler this year, and, he's wearing the green dot. Kevin O'Connell's been raving about him. Brian Flores has been raving about him. But those are 5 guys who I think could really, really, take the next step. And, 5th, I talked about this on a video a while ago, just Justin Jefferson and just, his impact and, why I do think he is, almost gone underrated. And I know this is ludicrous. And I know a lot of people will be, turning their eye at this and being like, what are you talking about? He's the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. I think Justin Jefferson has gone underrated. And I will say this right now. He is the most underrated player in the NFL. People just throw him into as he's the best wide receiver in the league. And I don't think that's enough credit for what he has done. You go back and you watch that 2022 season when he was fully healthy. I have not seen a non-quarterback since Adrian Peterson back in 2012 put a team on their back the way number 18 did in that season. So this sounds ludicrous. I understand. How could the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL be considered underrated? I still don't think people consider him, a top 10 player in the NFL because of all the, the leeway we give to the quarterback position. After this year, we're going to be talking about Justin Jefferson up there with like the Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen category as a true top 5 player in the league. Wishful thinking by me. Maybe I've been drinking too much purple Kool-Aid, but I absolutely love number 18. I think he's going to remind a lot of people this upcoming year. But speaking about this upcoming year, Vegas has it. 6.5 wins for the Minnesota Vikings. I want you guys to get down in the comments and predict the Vikings record in 2024 for me. I got them going 10-7. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you guys want more Vikings content, that's the Twitter, @PatSieps. Give me a follow over there. I would really appreciate it. And I'll give you guys a follow back, no doubt about it. So if you guys could, link for that in the comment section and description of today's show. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Skol Vikes.